Are your chops getting too tired, too fast, too often? Well, today I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you some tips to help you build your endurance on trumpet. Hi, my name is Chris Davis. Welcome to a channel that I call Trumpet Lessons HQ, where I give you tips, encouragement, and demonstrations to help you become a better trumpet player faster. If you like the sound of that, press the subscribe button right now. So if you're having trouble with your endurance, it can be happening for any number of reasons. So today I'm going to give you some tips. The first tip is this: watch your volume. Yeah, it's possible that you're playing too loud too often. And think about that. If you're playing loud from the beginning to the end of your practice session, then you're going to get tired faster than if you were to add some dynamics to your practice. So the solution here is very simple. Add dynamics to your practice. When you're playing long tones, this is a great opportunity to practice dynamics. Play some long tones, soft, loud, and then soft again. Or you can start loud and diminish to nothing. These are some choices that you have. Another possibility is that your lips are doing too much work. So if you're pressing against your lips while you're playing, you're preventing your lips from vibrating as much as they really want to. So a solution here would be to focus on producing a consistent wind flow and allow your lips to vibrate as freely as they need to. And of course, you'll have to ease up on the pressure against your chops. So change the focus from your lips to your wind production. Tip number 3 is to change the order of your workout. Practice. Change the order of your practice. I did that on purpose. Remember that we're talking about the human anatomy. So your body needs a change of pace sometimes so that it can continue to grow and adapt. If you don't change your workout somehow, some way, your body will get used to it and it will stop changing. So what happens is people tend to get tired at the exact same place in their routine. Or if you're in a live performance situation and you're getting tired, it could be because you never get that far in your practice routine because you're always tired by the time you get there. So change the order of your practice and this will help you to grow. So an example of changing your order, it could be a couple of ways. So for example, if I'm playing Arbin lip slurs, then I would change it up to Schlossberg lip slurs, for example, every few weeks. Another option would be to change the order of which lip slurs appear in your practice session. So if you do it second after long tones, make it the third thing that you do after your technical studies. Tip number 5 is to rest as much as you play. I know you hear it all the time and you might be tired of hearing that tip, but you hear it all the time because there's truth there. So building stamina takes time. And I would like to consider a marathon runner right now just to compare what they do to what we do as trumpet players. So a marathon runner would never just show up to the race on the day of the race and run 26.2 miles. If they did, they would not finish the race or they'd hurt themselves, right? So we shouldn't just show up to a concert and play without training first. Now, I would like to consider also how a marathon runner would train for a race. They don't run 26.2 miles every day until the race comes. No, they don't do that. Instead, they run 3 miles at a time, 4 miles at a time, 5 miles at a time, and then they go back to 3 miles, right? And here's another key thing about the training of a marathon runner. They have rest days built into their training routine. It's on their calendar before they even get to day number 7 or whatever it is. So we should adopt this philosophy as trumpet players as well. A lot of times we're told to practice every single day, and we do need to have the horn on our face more often than we don't. But we also need to rest so that our body can recover, so that our muscles can grow, so that we can have more stamina, better endurance to last on the performance. So if you're somebody who just wants to play 7 days a week and you don't believe in taking a rest day, then please follow my suggestion to play long tones at least and just take it easy with that. This video is brought to you by Practice Live Workshop. Every third week of the month, the Trumpet Lessons HQ community gets together and we practice together. This is a great time for you to meet me in person, practice with me, have all your questions answered as well. Each workshop has a different topic And the next workshop is all about how to build your endurance on trumpet. So you might want to check it out. Go ahead and sign up for the email list below, and then you'll receive your invitation from me. Tip number 6 is to stay healthy. It's very important to exercise, drink water, and get sleep. Exercise, drink water, get sleep. I remember having a conversation with one of my former teachers, and we were talking about having a bad chop day, and he told me very quickly, I don't believe in bad chop days. There is no such thing. And I'm thinking, well, I've had bad chop days before, and everybody's had bad chop days before. What are you talking about? And he told me, well, there's a such thing as not enough sleep. There's a such thing as dehydration, and that will cause you to have what you call a bad chop day. And I thought about that. And I said, yeah, there's some truth there. Every time I'm feeling bad in my chops, I am tired or I am thirsty. And I reflected on one of the worst moments that I had in my career. I was on the stage in front of thousands of people, and not really in the moment, and I passed out. I didn't hit the deck. I stayed on my feet, but I passed out. And the reason that happened was because on that particular day, I didn't eat, I didn't drink water that day, and I didn't sleep that night before. I remember my son was just born, and I wasn't sleeping a lot at that time. And so at that concert, everything came to a head. That's the perfect recipe for disaster. For this tip, stay healthy. Tip number 7, actually warm up. If you show up to a practice session or a performance and you didn't warm up first, you have no right to expect that you'll last for any amount of time. So take a few minutes and warm up first. And that leads me to my next tip, which is to have a daily routine and actually follow it. So as I was saying before, it takes time to build stamina. It takes time to build up the muscles to a place where you won't get tired. There is a point where you won't get tired, or it just takes so long that you won't even feel the difference. And it takes time to reach that point. An easy thing that you can do is practice your routine. Another thing that you might want to consider doing is to play melodies. For example, if you go to the Warburton book, in the back of the book there's a lot of music that you can play. And in some of those etudes, for example, they're just a long blow on the face. If you're able to get through one of those, that's an endurance exercise. But it doesn't have to be that complicated. You can also take something more lyrical and play through those as well. Lyrical exercises have a different set of challenges, and we all need to play those. Now I want to ask you a question. Does your mouthpiece match your trumpet? A lot of people would argue that equipment doesn't matter. I'm telling you that equipment does matter. And I know the point they're getting at. The point that people are trying to make is that at the end of the day, you still need to practice. And that's true, you do need to practice. However, physics are involved. Science is involved here. And it's possible to have a mouthpiece that does not match your trumpet. There's something called the gap. That's the distance between the end of the mouthpiece and the beginning of the lead pipe. And as you alter that gap, you will discover that it would be a little more or less resistance in the blow of the trumpet. And that can have a significant impact on your endurance. My final tip for you today is to practice isometric exercises. Now, I advise this with hesitation because this can be overdone. So, do this periodically. A lot of people ask about the pencil exercise. I don't use the pencil. However, hold on, let me get this for you. I do use the Warburton P.E.T.E. So it has two ends. Let's see if I can show you. And you just put each end in your mouth for about 10 to 15 seconds at a time. And you give it a gentle pull. If you put the fat end, if you use the fat end first, you put it in front of your teeth, give a gentle pull, and your armature will form around it, much like you would have it when you're playing the trumpet. And after about 10 to 15 seconds, you turn it over and just let your lips grip the more thin end. And that's all you have to do, 10 to 15 seconds, that's it. Hey, if you want to continue your learning, then go ahead and watch another video on the channel, and I'll see you there.